Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this roundtable discussion here in the BGI event, big one. I'm impressed about the people who are participating. We will here now in this roundtable discuss about semiconductors and about cooperation with Singapore and Taiwan. I'm a retired person, so I'm neutral now, but I have been working for a semiconductor company before. Therefore, I have been asked to help a little bit animate this. We will talk about the countries, Singapore and Taiwan, and how to get in touch with them, how to benefit from them. And then we will also have some testimony from two companies that are here around the table, ANIAH and Unity. And well, I don't want to talk, so I give my first word to our lady here at the round table, Karen. Maybe you can present yourself.
Okay, hey everyone, I'm Karen Lin, and I'm on behalf of National Science and Technology Council, which is the highest authority in charge of science and technology development policy in Taiwan.
Maybe you can say already a little bit about what you are doing there, support for startups, etc.
Okay. So I suppose many of you, the audience, have heard about Taiwan because of TSMC, Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company. But actually, they're not just TSMC. We have a lot of high-tech semiconductor companies, the most complete semiconductor supply chain in the world, located at just 36,000 square kilometers in Taiwan. So with such a high density of population, talents, and industry, we're looking to utilize the strengths to build this island a hub and cooperate with more partners, countries like France, to attract more talents and capital and technology to Taiwan, and then come up with more solutions and more ideas for the world. So right now we have a most important semiconductor policy, which is called Taiwan Chip-Based Industrial Innovation Program. And the purpose of this program is to leverage Taiwan's global leading position of semiconductor manufacturing and packaging and testing, and then to utilize and to realize more innovation ideas, and then by integrating with more strength of our chips, and then like AI, artificial intelligence. So, and I'll go to my next topics. Can I?
You can already go to
I'm worried about I'm talking a little bit longer.
No. We wanted to have an introduction also about, for example, the initiative that you are doing for startups, and so events that you are organizing in Taiwan. We can talk about now, we can talk about it later if you like.
Okay, thank you. So under this program, actually, there's a very important mission, is that we want to encourage more startups, like local Taiwanese startups and then overseas startups, to cooperate with more Taiwanese iconic tech giants like TSMC, like MediaTek, and then eventually to come up with more solutions with commercial or social value, and to help our world and to help Taiwan to become better. So right now we have done two things. The first one is that we built an international startup base, which is called Taiwan Tech Arena, TTA. And with this startup base, we help those local and overseas foreign startups to soft landing, including provide working space, and then also connecting with more local partners like companies or university, and also R&D institutes. And then also fundraising. And TTA is a very important entity in our startup ecosystem right now. And the second thing is that we launched an important startup international competition, which is called IC Taiwan Grand Challenge right now. We want to encourage more teams to utilize their ideas with the resources or the support from our Taiwanese tech giants, from like EDA tools to waiver, that Taiwan is very professional area. So in this competition right now, we have just launched it since April this year. And then the selected teams will get not just 300, I think it's $30,000 prize, and then the mentorship from our industry experts, also the support from our ecosystem like TTA, and the most important is that the selected teams will be qualified to join the platform, which is built by government at the first time, integrating all the resources from TSMC, MediaTek. They can use these resources to realize their ideas with a very much cheaper expense. So I think it would be a very good opportunity for all the startups in the world to realize their dreams in Taiwan right now. So it's a strategy providing hardware and software assistance and to encourage our startups to come to Taiwan at this time. And finally, I'll take a little bit more time to talk about the links between Taiwan and Bpifrance, because I know I've seen all these very promising events these days, and you have a very strong connection in the industry. And actually, National Science and Technology Council in Taiwan, we are focusing on the science and technology policy and fundamental research, and also science parks. So we have the same goals and the same things to do, and I think there will be more opportunity to cooperate in the future. So thank you.
Thank you, Karen. I think you also have some colleagues here in the public, and if somebody wants to have more contacts with this delegation, then I invite you to talk to Karen or to their colleagues here in the public. Zhi Hong, you are from Singapore. You are living at the moment here in France, and you can make the link. So what is that you are proposing for Singapore?
No, thank you. So I'm Zhi. I come from the Singapore Economic Development Board. So as a government agency, our role is to support companies, international companies, including French companies and all European companies, to explore Asia using Singapore as a business hub. A business hub not just for corporate services, but also for manufacturing and R&D. Semiconductors in particular is very interesting for us. Not known to many people is that in Singapore, actually manufacturing accounts for 20% of our GDP. Mind you, Singapore is a small country. Singapore is 700 square kilometers. That's 7 times central Paris, a very small country. But we make a strategic decision to keep manufacturing as a large proportion of our GDP because that gives a dynamic economy for our country. Semiconductor in particular accounts for about 7% of our GDP today. Not many people know this again, but we actually account for 10% of the global output for semiconductor wafer chips. We also account for 20% of the semiconductor manufacturing production globally. And you may ask, why do companies actually want to come to Singapore in the first place, right? This tiny country with no natural resources and so on. We reflected upon this for many years, and our conclusion is really that Singapore remains a trusted location. And this is becoming even more important these days. Of course, for many decades now, the semiconductor industry has benefited from years of optimization, years of countries being very specialized in different parts of the value chain. But as we all know now, that with growing geopolitical tensions around the world, there's a need to diversify. Companies are also feeling that they need to diversify away from having a central location to produce only a single part component of their value chain. And therefore, Singapore offers that location for them to diversify. And that's the reason why we continue to see companies wanting to invest in Singapore. So for example, Soitec 2 years ago decided that they will double their manufacturing output in Singapore for silicon on insulator chips, wafers in particular. We have also received new investments coming from Global Foundries, from Micron, and the most recent one would be a JV between Vanguard and NXP, right, which is Netherlands-based. Looking forward, we continue to be very bullish about the semiconductors industry. At the end of the day, many of the trends that we are seeing today, be it AI, 5G, IoT, electrification and e-mobility, all these would be driven by semiconductors. And for that reason, we are also investing in different capabilities, be it in compound semiconductors and so on. Just for example, ST Microelectronics, today they are manufacturing silicon carbide chips in Singapore. but they are also working with our research institutes to develop the first ever 8-inch silicon carbide manufacturing foundry in Singapore. And we continue to want to work with different companies. And if there are companies and startups that are interested to partner Singapore, we'll be happy to share connections, share financial incentives if they would like to set up here. Thank you.
And maybe we can also add to that one that there are some initiatives, some programs inside BPI to finance cooperations only between two countries, for example, France and Singapore, where the French side is supported by the eDemo project. Of course, you have to submit specific files to get accepted, but there is this possibility, and of course it is wish to work together with other countries, and this is one possibility to do this. So we may come back to you with some more questions afterwards. Well, let's first go to our colleagues here from companies who are maybe have another view, I don't know, but Vincent from ANIAH, have you a good or bad experience? Tell us.
Well, my name is Vincent BLIGNY. I'm a CEO of ANIAH, a French company that develops software for the semiconductor industry. The players in the semi-industry have a problem with Moore's law. You all know that law which says that the number of transistors in a chip will double every 18 months, which is all very good, but that's a real problem for the semi companies, because it means that the complexity of chip designing the chips themselves is also increasing. And the software tool that help the chip companies design the chips have not kept up. The consequence is that we get bugs on silicon. When we manufacture the chip, when we do tests or embed them in products, they have bugs, which will mean that the lifetime is reduced from years to months, that the power consumption will be in excess. And ANIAH has been founded to help the big chip manufacturers like Apple, NVIDIA, MediaTek, and even TSMC solve this challenge. Now, why am I here? And why was I invited? This is because the strategy of ANIAH from the start has been half in France and half in Taiwan. We're taking the best of both worlds. In France, we have the BPI. We have extremely talented software developers and reasonable labor costs. In Taiwan, we have so many huge customers like TSMC, there's MediaTek, and a lot of other very big players like Novatech, Realtek, and I could name a lot of them. The semi-industry is very active, very dynamic in Taiwan. In addition, we're changing the way people design chips. And with our new software, with this new service that we give to customer, this is also a risk to change what exists to do something better. And I really appreciate in Taiwan the pragmatic approach to risk. Taiwan is facing a number of risks of all kinds, and the population will have a very level-headed approach to risk. So we're a new thing, they will say yes. Benefits, pros, cons. If the pros are more than the cons, they will go for it. They're not afraid of risk, and that's why we're here. So a company that is half in France, R&D, and half in Taiwan for sales, marketing, product definition. That's really a winning combination.
You also said that you love Taiwan. So coming to my first question, because of the enthusiasm of the people, and it seems it's easier to hire there.
Well, yes, hiring in France has been difficult, especially to find semi-specialists, and it's been easier in Taiwan. We need very highly skilled and very experienced electrical engineers, and we've been able to do some very good hires in Taiwan, and they're really pulling our company in the direction, in the right direction. Plus, yes, I love visiting Taiwan. It's a great place. You should go there.
I think you're a better speaker for Taiwan than me. Thank you.
You talked about BPI, that you got probably support. Did you get similar support in Taiwan from Karen?
Not yet.
We'll talk about that later.
Any lowlights, any difficulties? Or is language a problem? Or
It's hot in summer. Language is not a problem, no.
that is interesting. You're a small company. You have just something like 20 people. You have succeeded to do both, to go into France and to Taiwan. Now let's come to a little bit bigger company, to Unity SC with Eloi. And maybe you have another view. You have more experience. Maybe you know a little bit of history, ups and downs in the semiconductor industry. Eloi.
Hello, I'm Eloi. I'm the general manager of Unity. Unity is an equipment manufacturer for the semiconductor industry. We are specialized in the inspection and metrology tools. So we are designing the tool, we are developing the software, we are manufacturing the tool in France. But well, I would say that the revenue of the company is around 40 million euro. We grow, we multiply by 4 in the past 5 years. And we did that in France for the manufacturing and the R&D of our tool. And I would say that I could do a synthesis of different positions because we have 7 different locations. We are based in France, but we are also in Singapore, we are also in Taiwan, in Germany, in Korea, in China. Why? Because semiconductor is a global business. It's not only a regional business. I would say that 75–80%, depending on what we are talking, of our customers are based in China. So it means that all the big investments in the manufacturing are done in Asia. If we are not able to be in this market, and if we are not able to follow the customer and to understand what the customer are doing, our tool will not be efficient for their needs. On the other way, developing some solution with the right people, hiring the right people. And I have a different point of view than Vincent on this part, because hiring in France is not an issue. It depends on the way that you are doing that. Where I'm fully aligned, the cost in France, even if we are shouting that we have too much charges, and it could be better, the cost for one employee is lower than in Singapore, than in Taiwan, in Korea, or in Japan.
This is also because of the CIR?
CIR is another, for me it's another topic. It's really the salary, social charges and everything. At the end, even if you are accumulating all these things, in the semiconductor business, the cost of one French employee is lower than all around the world. CIR is also the interest of France. France is, there's a lot of good school, good students. These students are not coming only from France, they are coming from all the other countries in Europe, but also from the US, also from Asia, also from North Africa, and we have a lot of talent thanks to that. CIR is for sure a very strong help for us because the Crédit d'impôt recherche is definitely a grant. We could say things like that. In our account, we are saying that it's a grant. And it's very, very helpful to develop the new technology. And we need to do that because we are investing 20% of our revenue in R&D. So it's a lot of money every year in this area. France is also surprising because with France 2030, we made the choice, and thanks for some people here in BPI who help us a lot, we decided to build our new factory in France. We have a look on Singapore, we have a look on Taiwan, we have a look in a lot of different countries. But at the end, we are staying in France. Why? Because the people are well trained, they have a strong knowledge, we can educate them, and there is less competition. So there will be more in our company than to our competitors. And it's definitely one of the accents.
Something that has changed recently with geopolitical changes that makes it easier or more difficult for you to operate?
As I said, semiconductor is global, so you need to take care about different things. You are in country that you are not managing the language, you are not managing the usage. We have 20 different nationalities in the company. The biggest point that we have to define is what is the common culture. And creating a common culture when we have some people coming from different areas like Asia, like Europe, like US, like North Africa, is not so easy. So it's one of the challenges that we have to, but we could be afraid about that, but just try. You just have to try it. If you are not trying it, you will never be successful on this. So try it. We have in Unity, we have 4 people of our management committee based in Singapore. Dan, the CEO, based in Singapore, the biggest seller of the company, chief of the sales, chief of the R&D, and especially introduction of new product, and the marketing guys. They are near the customer, so we have to manage that. The other topic is don't be afraid to open a subsidiary in this country. You have a lot of help with dedicated people who will help you, and you have a lot of advisors. The normal big name that we have, but also local, who are able to speak in different language and able to educate you in all the things that you have to learn, to practice, to take care, because it's different rules, different solution, different law, and you have to take care about that.
We have also a lot of students here in this event. Maybe a word about schools, about possibility to have exchange. Is there something that is known to you both about relations between academics in both countries? Or?
No, I think for us, I think we continue to be open, right? In fact, we are also conversing. We also had conversations, right, with the regional government of Honalps to facilitate talent exchange. But of course, today is done on an ad hoc basis. It's between universities, right? When it comes to student exchange, but when it comes to corporates that have professionals that they hire in Singapore, we are always supportive for them to bring some of these hires from Singapore back to their headquarters so that they can also understand the culture that Eloi was mentioning about, so that they can better integrate with the rest of the company. And that usually works out very well.
Do you have enough people in Singapore? Because if everybody's working already in semiconductor?
Yes. So for Singapore, I mean, it's a trick question, right? The answer is always no whenever you ask, countries like Singapore or Taiwan or even other places, right? The question that we ask ourselves is how do we regenerate the talent, right? To make sure that even though there's full unemployment, how do we make sure that we retrain them to the skills that they need in the future? And we continue to do so with the help and the support and in partnership with the companies, right? The companies tell us what they need, and we would fund them when it comes to training.
Karen, I know that Taiwan has also some exchange with other European countries on training, on university links. There is a big company that invests in Germany there.
Well, actually, in the past time, Taiwan is the country because we're so small. So in the past time, our main policy is about outbound. We send our talents, we send our students, we send our engineers to all the branches all over the world to earning monies or to earning like other business opportunities. But I think since the post-pandemic era, I think the world have seen that Taiwan can do all the things because we allocate all the talents in the world. So the talents are back, the entrepreneurs are back to our country. And I think it's a very important time because right now we are focusing on inbound policy. And although we are still sending our students to Europe, to America, to all the destinations in the world, but these people, they have a same mission, is that we are exchanging our knowledge, our technology capability with all these local engineers, with all these local companies to see what we can do to create more solutions to meet the challenges from the next decade. So we're doing the same thing. We're not just doing it ourselves in this small island, but we'll build this island a hub. And then, because all the companies, their headquarters are still in Taiwan, and we were providing all this knowledge to all the people, to our partners. So I think it would be a turning point for us, for all the countries in Europe, or especially with France. And I think we can do more at this point.
Vincent and Eloi, some last words?
Try.
Yes, exactly.
Just try,
yeah.
Because the diversity of the different culture is creating the value. If we don't have the right people in Singapore, but also in Taiwan, in all these countries, we could not be a key supplier for TSMC, for all the IA chip. We are supplier for them. We are supplier for SK Hynix in Korea. It's not around the table, but it's exactly the same. Samsung is the same. And just try. Just try and take care. You have people you could help you if needed. If you find me on LinkedIn and if you need 10 minutes of call, don't hesitate. It will be a pleasure.
Same thing.
Any questions from the public? Anybody who wants to ask a question directly? Nobody? Then thank you very much. Very interesting, and hope to have more cooperation.